What is going on YouTube? It's your boy man like Tats here, and I'm back again with another flipping video. Guys, today's video is a little bit different. As you can tell, listen, before we even start, as you can tell, man's got some new gear. Okay? I wasn't gone for that long for no reason, guys. I was working things, okay? Yeah, I was working things, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Today is a different type of video. I would say I want to say it's a podcast. I want to say I'm starting a little bit of a podcast series, because I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy making the other videos, don't get me wrong, but podcast videos and sit down videos, talking about random things videos, talking about things that are important in life, talking about what's really happening, what people want to hear. That's what I like talking about. But look, yeah, it's been a while. The last 2-3 months, I've been doing my certificate in individual support. If you guys been watching me on TikTok, you've been watching my Instagram stories, my Snapchats, you've been seeing that I've been doing my thing with the flipping individual support, and I actually got the certificate today. I finished last week on Friday. That was my last day of placement. Yeah, we finished that. It was alright. It was a really good experience. Like in terms of Okay, I'll start from the beginning. So all around, it was a two-month course, which is very, very, very quick. And for the price, well, I only paid $200. That's very good. There's other courses that are costing like $3,000, $4,000, $2,000, upwards from that. And they go for weeks and weeks. Okay, so this one was a month of full time in class. So it was 9 till 3. No, 7. What was it? It was 8. No, it was 9 to 4 every single day. Sometimes we got let out a little bit earlier, but so we did a topic every single day for 4 weeks, so 20 days. So it was Monday to Friday, 9 to 4. And then straight after the classes, and we got like booklets every single day. So that was like our homework. But these booklets were long, man. I'm talking about like 20 to 40 questions, and like written questions too. And then you'd get like a booklet, booklet to do with those questions, if that makes sense. Like they kind of went hand in hand, but it was just long either way. It was just so long. And then after that, you'd have your assignments. You'd have to finish all 20 or 20 to 16 assignments before you went on placement. So placement was straight after that learning. So basically you had no days off except the weekends. Like that was the only days you had off. Placement was so much more chill though. Like I got along really well with the like staff there, with the the residents there. They loved me. I grew very emotionally attached to the residents. There was a few residents that I really enjoyed being around, and it kind of hurt when I was like, okay, my placement is finished, I have to go now. Like that hurt, you know what I'm saying? But, we look at the bright side, we are finished. I did get offered a job there, so I'm going to work there casual. It's a bit far for me though. It's like 40 minutes. But yeah, placement wasn't too bad. Like obviously you see the diarrhea, you see the poo, you see people peeing themselves. You feed people, you see people drooling on themselves, you have to help people get up, you have to help people with their daily activities, just basic, it's not basic stuff, but it's not stuff for like the weak-hearted. You gotta want to help these people. And I saw a lot of things during my time on placement that I was like, this is not right, and there were so many times where I wanted to speak up and say something, and there's some parts of me that's happy I didn't, and then there's parts of me that should have, if that makes sense. Like I didn't want to say anything because I was like, okay, well, I'm a student, I want to make a good impression. I don't want these other staff to hate me, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want people to think I'm just here to report. Like I want to have a good I want people to think good of me, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't report anything. Like I kind of just would be like, okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say bed making. Okay, because in the class we got told to make the beds a certain way that would like extra folds and stuff like that. But I got there the first day, they did not do any of that. And I was like, I bring it up and I said, okay, well, we're doing the thing, we're doing the beds. And I was like, I just brought it up in the middle. I was like, so we don't do the beds like how they teach us at like, the classes. And everyone goes to different classes, don't get me wrong, but they teach generally the same thing, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, we don't do the folds and stuff. And they're like, nah, like, there's no time for that. If we were to follow everything in the book, we wouldn't get everything done. You know what I mean? And the first week, I didn't really understand that. But as time went on, I started to understand what they meant by time and shortcuts. And there's a timeline, you know what I mean? When you start working there, you can understand there's a timeline that you're trying to get. And by doing everything that you're taught in the classes, you're not gonna get it done. Like, there's just no way. As much as you want to, it's not realistic. You know what I mean? So I could definitely understand where they were coming from in their part, but yeah, there was other things where it was like, like, should you really be like doing that? Like, do I say like, But I got to okay, I'll give you an example. I'll give you a story. I was showering someone, and the door wasn't all the way closed, and you have to close the door because privacy reasons, privacy, right, for the residents. And the door wasn't all the way shut. Like, I remember going like that to, how you just like, you like kind of turn your back and just go to close the door. That's kind of what I did. And the door wasn't closed the whole way, and the guy's like, like, he came in the room. It's an Indian staff, came in the room, and he's like, bloody hell, man, like, I told you to close the door. You have to close the door. And then he's like, oh my God, man. And he left. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, first of all, that's not right. But I didn't really say it. I just didn't show any emotion. I just kind of went on with my business, showering the resident. And then afterwards, I was like I had a plan. I was going to go up to him and be like, no, like, don't, like, I'm new. Like, this is my first week. Okay. Like, I'm learning, as I'm learning still. You were in my position before. So after I'm done what I'm doing, I see him after. I'm like, oh, look, like, I didn't like the way that you talked to me before. Like, I'm learning, like, I'm new. How do you think it's going to make me feel when you're coming into the room saying, oh my God, this and that? Like, it's going to make me feel bad, especially on my first week. Like, yeah, sure, third, fourth week, I should know what I'm doing. I'm still learning. Like, there's no doubt about that. I'm still learning, but, there's no excuses at that point. But, the first week, let's kind of relax. And he's like, oh man, I'm sorry. Like, it's just a habit. I'm like, yeah, okay, but it's a bad habit. You know what I mean? And after that, he didn't do anything like that again. The staff were amazing there. Like, oh my God, I loved the staff there. There was like 4 or 5 staff in particular that I loved working with. You know what I mean? Like, they just made my experience that much better. Like, when you're just surrounded by people that kind of understand and patient with you, and they just talk to you and they make you feel comfortable, and you're just looking forward to seeing them on that shift. Maybe you're not looking forward to going to the shift, but these people are going to make it that much better for you. And there was like 5 of the staff that just made it that much better for me, and I really appreciate those people. Like, I really do appreciate those people, because without them making me feel like that, I probably wouldn't have finished. Actually, no, I would have finished, because I was forced to finish. But yeah, that was placement. Let's move on to women. Listen, I'm about to get Andrew Tate on this. Listen, I don't totally agree with what Andrew Tate. Some of the stuff he says is bollocks. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, some of the stuff he says is just not serious. Okay, but let me talk about my experiences in Australia with dating, especially Adelaide, because if you guys know, Adelaide is a very small city in Australia, like a very, very small city. Like, you say to anyone, oh, I'm from Adelaide, they're like, oh my God, like, you from Adelaide? I never met someone from Adelaide. You know what I mean? That's what it's like. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but it's small and everybody knows each other. That's, you know what I mean? Adelaide, dating in Adelaide is like, obviously there's going to be people that you've never seen before and you've never heard it before, but it's so like rare, because the people that you've never seen or heard of before are so low key. Even like they might not even have any social media. That's how low key they are. And it's to the point where it's like, you see them and you're like, what the hell? Like, where the hell did you pop out of? You know what I mean? So dating in Adelaide is like, you're gonna date someone that someone else knows. Like, there's no doubt about it. And I feel like that's like everywhere. You know, you can't really get away from that. But in Adelaide, it's just so much, like, it's a lot more common, if that makes sense. Like, it's a lot more common to be like, oh yeah, like, I'm talking to this girl. I'm talking to Grace. You know, you go to your homeboy, yeah, I'm talking to this girl called Grace. And he's like, Grace? And you're like, oh God. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it's like. And I just feel like people in Adelaide are just, like, just dating is just, I don't know, like, I'm someone that doesn't really think there's a time on anything. Like, you know, you shouldn't really set a time for the time you're talking to someone, you know, like, in terms of like, oh, when you're leading up to dating, like, you shouldn't be like, oh, we've only been talking for this long, so we can't really date. Like, that's just not serious. You know, that's not serious. But I just feel like people here just rush everything. You know what I mean? Like, you see someone talking to someone, and then it's just like, they're not talking anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. I let me give you an example. Like, I was not talking to this girl, but I kind of hinted at that I wanted to, you know, okay, let me get this out of the way. I'm not like, let me bring this closer to me, because I'm about to say some real stuff. When I'm talking to someone, like, half the time, I'm not even serious. Like, I promise you. Like, I promise you, half of the time, I'm not even serious. Like, I'm just talking just to talk. And, you know, I was chatting to this girl or whatever. And then she was like, yeah, I'm talking to someone. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you know, I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, cool. And then I see them at the club together. I'm like, oh, nice. And then I see this girl, like, the next week or so, post something about men ain't shit, niggas ain't shit. You know what I mean? Just the usual niggas ain't shit type. You know, it's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, because at this point, you're just embarrassing yourself. Like, keep up, because this girl was posting her mans too. Like, don't, like, I say do whatever you want, but don't be posting, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you know you're not gonna last, don't be like, I mean, no one knows, but like, chill. You know, maybe wait a month or two before you start posting people, because if you post and then you're not together anymore, you look stupid. And I don't want y'all to look stupid. I want y'all to be smart. Look smart, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, things are just rushed. I feel like no one's genuine. People are genuine, but people just don't want to wait all that time, you know? And people don't want to get to know someone. People don't want to, you know, have that sense of, oh, like, yeah, I really know this person now. You know, I just feel like everyone is just in a rush to get together because of TikTok. TikTok is what's making people think like this. I didn't want to say it because I'm on TikTok and I do TikTok, but TikTok is making people do this stuff. Like, you see all these couples going on dates, and literally, I was falling for that too. I was someone that was like, oh yeah, like I really want someone because of this, you know. But TikTok is doing this to people. People don't care anymore. People are just going for anything, anyone, and just saying, yeah, this is my girl. This is what TikTok's doing to people. People don't want to take time. People don't want to take time to get to know someone. People don't want to take time to really evaluate the situation. People don't want to take time to really know the person from inside and out. That's why nothing is working. And if it's working, most likely one of the people is saying, one person within the relationship is thinking, yeah, nah, this one's not for me. That's what they're thinking. And I know it, because there's some relationships where you just like, you look at it and you're just like, weren't you complaining to me the other day about this person not treating you right? And how they hit you? Like, sorry, trigger warnings for people, I'm sorry. But people would just be complaining to me, oh, they hit me. Like, they don't really care for me like that. Like, you know, and the person, they're still with them. And it's like, what's actually happening? Like, I want someone with me on this podcast next time to really, someone who is in a relationship, to really talk to me and to really set my mind. Because some of the things I don't understand, like, people will be telling you, oh, like, your girl's doing this and that. That's another thing. People are in people's business way too much. Way too much. People in people's business way too much. Like I'll have my friends saying, "Oh, did you hear what this person did to, this person, and they're dating?" You know what I mean? Like, it's not that deep. Like, it's not that deep. Let's just go back to when it was just, talking just to really get to know the person. Let's stop these internet relationships. Go out and see the person that you're talking to. Really want to talk to them and get to know them in person. I hate texting. Like, I just want to see you. I don't like calling, but if I like you, I'm going to call you. I'm going to ask to call you. Let's just stop these internet relationships, because it's not working out. The first 2-3 months, in my opinion, I think y'all should be going out, eating, really getting to know each other. You guys don't have to eat every time. You go out to the Botanic Gardens, go to the museum, go see a movie. Well, maybe not movie on the first date, because, you want to get to know the person, but do something that's going to make you guys, get to know each other. Text is not doing anything. When you're texting someone, you don't really get to know you don't really see what their facial expressions are, if that makes sense. Like, you don't see how they're feeling. You don't see how they react to when you say something. You don't see their tone, in their facial, their body language. FaceTime's the best thing to seeing someone in person. It's the closest thing. So either see them, FaceTime them. Don't text all the time. Texting is fine, but don't text all the time. I feel like we need our own space as people as well. We need our own space. We need to, have time for ourselves. Like, talking every single day of the, minute of the day, nah, man. Like, I'll text you in the morning, I'll text you in the afternoon just to check up on you, and then we can do the real talking on call, or we're going to see each other. That's it. Like, I don't nah. But look, guys, I don't want to make this video way too long. I just thought I would catch up with you guys, give you a little taste of what's coming for the future. If you guys did like this video and you want more like this, make sure you let me know in the comments below, and I'll definitely make sure to get some people on this podcast and to inform. I'll definitely get people on the podcast so you guys can see different perspectives, because you don't only want my perspective. You know what I mean? So we'll get some people on here for you guys, and we'll go from there. But yeah, this was about my placement, where I've been, and relationships and what I think of them. If you guys like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share this video to your friends and family if you haven't already. And it's been your boy, man like Tats, and I'm out. Peace.